Hello everyone, you're very welcome. So today we'll be transferring files from folder A to folder B using C Sharp. As you can see here, folder A and folder B, and these two folders are completely empty. So we'll be transferring files from this folder into this folder, all using C Sharp. Let's get started. So the first thing we'll be doing is creating files in folder A, those files which we will transfer later on in this video. Okay, so the first thing we'll be doing is typing using system.io. Now what we'll be doing is creating two strings for our root part, which is folder A, and our destination part, which is folder B. We're going to be adding the @ sign before our string so we can add our slashes without any error. Now we'll go back to my desktop and I can see folder A here, which has our files. You can maximize it and you're going to click here to get the full path with Ctrl C to copy or copy. We'll go back to Visual Studio and paste it over here. Now we do the same thing for our destination path. So now we have root path and destination path. Folder A and folder B. So the second thing we're going to be doing is checking if this destination path exists. So to do that, we have to say directory dot exist, then in brackets we're going to pass in our destination path, which is over here. Destination path. We'll put this in an if statement. So now let's run our program and you can see true, it exists. So now we're going to go back to our desktop and we're going to be deleting folder B. And we'll go back to Visual Studio and you can see false, it does not exist. That's because we deleted it. So we want to do something if it does not exist. So we want our computer to create this directory if it does not exist. So we're going to be saying directory.create directory, and in bracket we're passing destination path. So the C# is going to create a directory using this string that I've passed into it here. Create directory, destination path, and we close this up. So now when we run our program, first let's check if it exists. You can see there's no folder B on our desktop. Now let's run our program. False, it does not exist. And C# has actually created a directory on our desktop. Let's go back to our desktop and see. And you can see, wow, folder B has appeared and there's nothing inside. Yeah, we just created that. Very good. So now our program is starting to work. So what we can do next is copy files from our root path to destination path if it exists. Okay, so if directory exists, so now we run our program again and you can see it exists. Very good. So now that we have checked if our directory exists, and it does exist, and we've created a program that can also create a directory if it does not exist, what we have to do next is move our files. So firstly, we're going to be creating a variable to store these files from our root path. So variable, we'll name this variable files, and we're going to say equals to directory dot get files in brackets, we're going to pass in root path because we're getting the files from the root path, comma, then asterisk dot asterisk. So this asterisk means the file name, this other asterisk means the extension. This is a search pattern. Another comma, search pattern, search option dot all directories. I'm going to explain this in another video on this series. So you can see variable files, we're getting the files from the directory, which is root path, which is search option, file name dot file extension, search option, all directories in folder A. So we're going to make some corrections. Okay, and now we want to move our files from our root path to our destination path. First, we create a for each loop. We'll say string for each file in files. So for each file in this variable, which is a string array, as you can see here, string array, that's a lot of strings in it. For each of the string, we want to move each of them individually. So we're going to say file, capital letter, because C# is a case sensitive letter, capital letter file dot move. Okay, let's copy the files firstly. So we're copying files from our source file name. So this is file, copying from file to our destination, which is destination path. Also, we'll be adding, before we do this, we have to add another slash here so it works. Get file name. Yes, we're getting the file name. Get file name, and what file? From file, we want to get the file name of file, and that should be all. And after this, we want to beep again and our crazy lines, then tell our user that the file have been copied to this plus our destination path. So now let's run our program and see what happens. You can see files have been copied to folder B. Very good. So let's go back, click on folder B, and you can see beautifully done, it has been copied. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing next is very simple. We want to move these files from folder A to folder B. I've deleted these files and close our program, go back to Visual Studio, and now instead of file.copy, we say file.move. Yeah, file have been moved. When we do this, we have to delete our folder B and go back to Visual Studio. We say directory dot, this is just an extra, not exist, and what we want to do next is the beep and the lines. After the directory has been created, for sure, then we want to say directory created to our user. So now the last thing we want to do is environment dot exit, passing exit code of 0. So after a directory has been created, we are going to close the console so we can open it back up and everything works just fine. Let's run this program. Finally, we are done. It closes. Let's check. Folder B has been created. Now let's go back to Visual Studio and we run it again. Good. Files have been moved to. Awesome. Let's check it out. Folder A, folder B, and you can see our files moved from folder A to folder B. We didn't do that like this. So this same method, we can use the same method to select specific files, but this video has been very long. We're going to go further and further into this file IO, the system IO, using system.io, and we're going to learn a lot more and a lot of things we can do with this. So I'll see you next time. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Sorry for making a long video. I hope you liked it. Leave a like, share, and comment. Make suggestions on what you want me to make and what you want to learn in C#. We'll see you next time. Bye.